Hello there, and welcome to Sling Pain Gaming, hosted by Recon Specialist TV. I'm Patrick,
And I'm Padre.
and this is Dateline. We had a rules update for effectives 10/12. So it was effective 2 weeks ago, but it was released yesterday. Version
Right.
1.3.2.
Well, there's an international dateline and stuff, and, mail is slow, and
Mails.
Yeah.
This was
Reasons.
posted. So that's okay. Now that makes sense. They mailed it out on the 11th, but we didn't get it until the 27th.
that's right. That's how this works.
See, I knew like you would understand why
Thank
this
you.
happened, but I mean, here we go. Rules reference update. Some of you are going to be pleasantly surprised. Some of you are going to be very angry. We're just going to keep scrolling down to the first blue marks.
And some people just won't care.
People are very twitchy when it comes to these things.
Do you
But
think?
yeah, here's the very first one. This is for the devices. And this one, people, were very curious about. A lot of these have been answered on the forums. They've announced it. They were in the previous rules reference as well. All they did was basically fine tune it. But with this one is each ship cannot place a device and decloak in the same phase. And
Well, that's important.
I mean, this one is even funnier. I was supposed to grab a beverage and we were supposed to drink every time there was something that, spelling errors, things that weren't there, things that are duplicated, things that they removed and they shouldn't have. This one is devices are not obstacles unless otherwise stated, but are objects. I hope that clears things up for you, Robert.
Yeah, this is the part where I get twitchy.
Basically, it ain't but it is, only but it do.
So I'm going to clarify this.
Yes.
Today is the tomorrow we worried about yesterday.
Yes. But basically, this is to fix the issue with the Chaff missiles. Those are further down. We'll go over that soon. But yeah, devices are not objects. Jackie Treehorn treats obstacles like devices, man. So we've got the next part. This one also got people a little confused. You want to read flee? It is alphabetical, so it should be easy to find.
Well, that would be after E.
Yes.
So yeah, I should be
E
able
for
to do
Ewok.
flee.
F
Really?
for Falcon.
Flee. Oh, look at that. A ship flees if any part of its base is outside the play area. They even underline that. At any time, a ship that flees is ready,
Yeah.
removed from the game. I'm so glad they clarified that.
The previous one, I believe, because I did use the Wayback Machine. So if you ever want to look at an old document, you can use the website called the Wayback Machine. You can grab Fantasy Flight's webpage, their main one, throw it in there, date it back, and there'll be all the old documents. I can't remember who told me that. It was one of our Discord members. Thank you, whoever it was. It was I think Chris Need. But this one was if a ship like executes its maneuver and is off the table edge or something. This one is just anytime, anywhere, if it's outside of the play area, it's immediately, even though immediately doesn't mean anything, is removed from game. I'm sure that clarifies something for somebody, but we were good with the old ways.
Yeah, I always thought the second that it's over the line, you're done.
Exactly.
But thank God they clarified it, because
Thank
I would be
goodness.
lost still to this day.
I mean, I've been flying onto other people's mats during tournaments. It's very irritating, but man, is it fun for me. Ionization, which this one was already in there. We made fun of it in one of our previous videos, but you now turn into a spy. You have to secretly set a maneuver. Secretly. You don't even let your opponent know.
Correct.
Burn after reading type stuff. And then place the dial face down on the ship's card. This is basically for abilities that could remove an ion token before you activate it. So in that case, I know there's the A-Wing that can do it. There's another ship that can remove red tokens as well. So it's good to remind players, hey, if for some reason you remove that ion token, you're still going to have to execute a maneuver. And if you don't have a dial set, you're then going to have to resort to the new rule, which is down further. We'll get to that. But yeah, so just make sure you always set a dial regardless, even if you don't have to or you don't think that you should. Just do it anyways.
You don't set a dial, you get penalized for that too.
Yeah. Well, I mean, just wait for the day to where there's a ship that says, oh, you can remove a red token from a ship at range 0 to 2. And someone's ionized, and you're like, oh, they haven't set a dial. Quick, yoink, let me take their ion, and then go, okay. Oh, nuts, you didn't set your dial. Shucks, my bad. Just wait. It'll happen. You know it will. And then if a ship was ionized during the planning phase, if a ship that was ionized during the planning phase is no longer ionized at the beginning of its activation, assign the ship a face-down maneuver dial from its card. Okay, the ship then activates as normal. So it's basically reiterating this, except without secretly.
Right, because, we have double secret probation.
Oh, double secret probation. Jeez. I mean, I'm glad they said it twice. It bears repeating now.
Yes, because, if it's...
Well, no, I'm laughing at the next one. I don't know if you want to read Obstructed, but I'll let you know right now, you don't have to read the whole thing.
Oh, but I get to do so little.
I know. If you seriously want to, you can.
I'm going to.
You're going to read the whole thing, even though it's basically verbatim.
In my best radio announcer voice that I have. Yeah, I don't have one, so you're just going to get this. An attack is obstructed if the attacker measures range through an object. Really?
Yep.
If a ship or device obstructs an attack, there is no inherent effect. Wow, they're using big words now.
Yeah.
If an obstacle obstructs an attack, there is an additional effect. Those lines for measuring range from or to another point in order to avoid measuring. Oh, I'm not reading the whole thing.
I told you not to.
This is just.
Well, no, this is to prepare for things that might be down the road. Basically, it's saying if your attack is obstructed by something that's called an object, then it's obstructed. They're saying that. An attack is obstructed if it measures through an object. If a ship or device obstructs an attack, there is no inherent effect, meaning there's nothing in the rules to say that something is supposed to happen. It just happens to go through a ship or a device. However, that means that if all of a sudden a rule states that when a ship or when an attack does go through a ship or a device, something could happen. That's what it's saying. So read the card. Sure. If an obstacle
just read the card.
An attack, there's no additional effect. So, I mean, geez. If an obstacle obstructs an attack, there's no addition. Basically, two obstacles don't add to the defense dice, so you don't get. It doesn't stack. Basically.
So if two ships pass in the night. No.
But wait, there's more. If at least one obstacle obstructs an attack, the defender rolls one additional defense die during the roll. So again, it reiterates if an obstacle obstructs an attack, but same thing. The attacker measures from closest.
Yeah, but doesn't that leave the door open that if there's two objects in the attack, you would get 2 dice?
No, because then the first part is. See what I mean? No, you get 1. That's it. Don't try to. Well, it's going through 2. No, I don't care. And it's going through a buzz droid. Does that count as a ship?
How many buzz droids are in that thing? There's 3, so I get 3 extra dice. Plus the rock is 4, and I have an inherent 3. I get 7 defense die.
Oh, jeez. Well, it's close range, so -1 if you know your tanks.
Yeah,
the attacker,
but you know what?
What?
If I'm rolling the device, if I'm rolling the dice, they're all going to be blanks anyhow.
Hey, there you
So-
go. Or if you're me and you take ships that don't roll green dice, this doesn't affect you in the slightest. So this is another point that people miss. This is already in here, but it's cleared up. The attacker measures from the closest point of its base to the closest point of the defense base that is in the attack arc. So if all of a sudden you have your ship like lined up right here, you don't measure from the corner, you measure from the arc. Because people will try that and they're like, oh look, I'm in range 3, and it's like, no, you can't measure from the corner, you have to measure from inside that arc. That's the range that it needs to be, not this, just because we're within. But for abilities, then that counts with ship bases. So if 2 ships are within range 3,
nubs don't count anymore.
Nubs never count. Get out of here unless you're playing TTS. Then the nubs are
Right.
always in play. Therefore the attacker cannot measure range from or to another point in order to avoid measuring through an object. So easy peasy. Now they put this twice, drink, because I copy paste, it just got a little too out of hand there. If multiple points are equal distance from the attacker, for example, if the attacker and defender are parallel, the attacker chooses the lines to measure from. So if you're parallel to each other, you don't have to go through a rock, or you can choose to go through a rock if you have something like trick shot, or if you're what's the tie silencer, blackout. So if you're blackout, you can choose to go through the rock if you're parallel with the defender. And then they reiterated it again. Maybe it
Because
was
once was not enough.
Maybe it was like because they wanted to even out the page. Like, when you like double space something to me.
Sure. They wanted to make it pretty.
Exactly. I'll accept. But they still don't, that doesn't count. They have to hit 3,000 words or more, and single spaced only.
Well, that was the assignment. You have to make sure. So you're going to be saying things like an object is very, very, very difficult.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so
Extra words count.
this is already here, but they added it again, just to make sure that if you forget to set a dial, you perform a white 2 straight and you receive a stress. So it's not a stressful maneuver. So if something triggers because you've executed a certain maneuver, or for even, let's say, Jango Fett's ability, you execute a white maneuver, they executed a red, his ability would still work, because you did execute a 2 straight white maneuver. But the stress has got a lot of people angry.
Well, it's punishment.
It's not revenge, it's punishment.
It's punishment for punishment's sake. Don't do that again. Maybe you'll remember next time.
I mean, set your dial. It's not hard. And if you don't, this is a great reminder for that.
I'm trying to think if I have ever, not set a dial. I mean, the only time I've ever set a dial is when I was ionized. I mean,
TTS, it does happen. That's a given. Not really in real play, but when it does happen, it's going to bite you.
Yeah, because you're going to get stressed.
And this is the thing. Now it's part of the whole ionization thing. Oh, geez, I didn't even think about that. So, oh no, you would, since you're no longer ionized, you then would do the 2 straight, and then you become stressed. So if all of a sudden you think you're ionized and you screwed up and take away the ionization, you forgot to set a dial, and then all of a sudden now you're stuck doing a 2 straight and you're stressed.
Right. And you're next to the board edge,
Yeah.
which infinitesimally is over the board. You fleed.
Jeez. So you played yourself. Oh my God.
Oh, horrifically.
Horrifically. All right. Going down.
The range.
So I think this was in there before, but cluster mines, when each of these devices detonates, that ship rolls 2 attack dice. That ship then suffers 1 hit or crit damage. So, yeah, but that's how we were playing it anyways. But yeah, I'm glad they corrected that.
Yeah,
that's
since the beginning of time. So,
I thought they would have put that there. Those are examples of gas clouds, because that's actually going to matter. Errata, do you want to just...
No, I thought you were going to do range next.
Did I skip over range? I apologize.
Yeah.
Hold on, let me go up
Okay,
here.
so the new addition is if two ships are at range 0 of
Oh,
each
yes.
other, they remain at range 0 until one of the ship moves or rotates in a way that results in their bases no longer being in physical contact.
Yeah, because bases are not perfectly square.
Right.
So if you, perfect example, which I know a lot of people were having issue with, was U-wings. If you all of a sudden do your 90-degree turn with your U-wing, you're at range 0, you're no longer touching. He didn't move, he rotated. Yes, but we're no longer touching. So we're no longer at range 0.
Yeah.
And this, I think, was already in the previous one. They just made sure it was added and they correctly worded it. But I think DU was super
So my
fighting for this.
question still remains.
What?
We have ship A, ship B hits it here. They're touching.
Yes.
Ship A on the next turn moves 2. Ship B thought he'd be wily and moves 2, thinking he's not going to be separated.
Oh, yeah. I would, if all of a sudden you're range 0 of each other and you execute that maneuver and you're still range 0 of each other, then that's it. You're touching. You are considered range 0.
Correct. Now, I think it was 1.0. If he moved 1 and then you moved 1, you were no longer touching. If he moved 2, you moved 2, he was no longer touching.
Which,
But
that made no
here,
sense to me.
I didn't understand it either, but it was what it was. Now you're touching,
Yeah.
period. You're touching. So the only time you're not going to touch is when you rotate.
Yeah.
And I can understand why that is, because you're rotating your ship and putting it back down.
Yeah.
But
And
I would still say you're touching.
exactly. Well, it's physical contact. Now you just have to get down to the micrometer level and see if, in fact, they are touching, or if you believe physics. I think it's physics. No objects are actually touching.
Yeah.
No
Well,
two objects are
I will
never
make
touching.
sure to bring my electron microscope
There you go.
to make sure that we have that distance and separated.
I mean, I keep mine in my car at all times.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Mine's kind of heavy, so I don't generally bring it.
They are quite large, aren't they?
I have heard. Where are we going to next?
So, if I'm not mistaken, the next one is Errata.
That's under E.
Well, no, now it's under page 28 because that's not under.
Oh,
that's a
because they're
separate
putting it in the
section.
back now. Okay. I apologize for being stupid, people.
It's not stupidity. It's poor planning on my part. But so I think these were already added to the Errata PDF. But I will say, everyone drink, because Hera is definitely not in a Y-wing. If she is, I want her to be in a Y-wing. While another friendly ship at range 1 to 2 defends or performs an attack during a modify dice step, added a specific timing window in an attack during which her ability can be used as before. This ability can only be used once per attack. But this is probably for her B-wing, not the Y-wing. However, now, I'm taking her in a Y-wing. I'm just going to call it.
You didn't want to do Arliz or Commander Malrus.
I'm almost positive they just added them in here, even though it's on the Errata PDF.
Okay.
If I'm not mistaken. If you want to read them, we can read them. Go ahead.
No, I don't give a rip one way or the other, to be honest with you. I mean,
I'm glad we have a show then. I don't give one rip.
I sorry.
Yeah. So this was a typo that they noticed. Asajj Ventress for Epic Command Crew didn't have a reoccurring charge next to her force, so now it does. So you're all set there, which was awesome.
Okay. And let's see, Protectorate Gleb.
Yep. Yeah, this was pre-errata, but if you want to read it, go ahead.
Yeah. Should read after you coordinate a friendly ship, you may transfer 1 orange or red token to the ship you coordinated. Added restrictions stipulating friendly ship.
Exactly. So before it was, I could do this to anybody, and no, it has to be friendly. So I'm trying to look
Well,
up
they did.
tracking torpedo.
Well, right here, it should read, "This card's charge cannot be recovered."
Yeah,
They added the restriction on recovering
Do you
charges.
want to know why that's not on the card?
Sure.
It couldn't fit. The
Oh, I
text.
almost spit up my tea.
You know, hold on. I gotta bring this in because the amount of text in this thing is so much that I'm sure it was supposed to be there, and it probably ran down and it got cut off. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay, I have to say this. We had small cards for our upgrades in 1.0.
Yeah, there it
And
is.
then they said in 2.0, we're going to give you bigger cards. We're going to give you standard size cards. So what did they do? They took it and rotated it 90 degrees, put artwork on one side, and then give you a text box this big and this big on the other side. And they're making more paragraphs, so smaller print.
Yeah.
I mean, really? Why?
Oh, that's funny. I didn't even. You know what? I didn't even notice that. I probably wouldn't even try to reload this thing. But yeah, now you can't reload it.
Yeah, well, there was that one guy.
Oh, there's always that one guy.
Okay, that one guy, and he
Or
was
girl.
like,
Let's be PC here.
Where's it say that I can't recover it? Common sense. I don't know.
Yep.
Oh God.
All right. This is a new one.
Do you think
but
honestly
not.
there are people out there
What?
that just look for loopholes so that they can just be a
100%. Yes.
bother?
I'm one of those people. Absolutely.
Okay.
All right. So this was
You're
already
an
in
ass.
here, but it's players are not required to declare each ability as it enters the queue. However, if a player does not resolve an ability during the appropriate timing window, the opportunity is lost, or the opportunity to do so. So now we're back to you're on your own. I'm not responsible for, informing
Thank
you.
God, I am no longer my opponent's keeper.
Exactly.
Which was the stupidest rule in all of X-Men.
I mean,
Okay, I'm passionate about that one. Okay, I really am, because I have enough going on with my list that I don't need to worry about your list. I, I'm sorry. I am not the brainiac player. You are the brainiac player. I am the brute force. Let me get the cheapest ship with, just the simplest thing, because I can't handshake to save my life. I admit it. I fully admit it. So when they said I had to be, concerned about what the other guy's list is, I'm like, I'm playing a game here. I'm trusting that guy who's not going to cheat me. And if he has to cheat in order to win, here, have the pity win.
Absolutely. All right. So this one is the, oh, this one was a little bit confusing. If a ship is affected by Padme Amidala's pilot ability and it modifies one of its focus results, can Emperor Palpatine's ability be used to modify a second focus result? The answer is yes. The ship equipped with Emperor Palpatine crew is modifying that ship's second focus result, not the ship itself. So you got to keep an eye out for you, your, their, them wordings, because it does matter. Oh boy,
Everything matters.
This is a big one. I'm not going to say I'm responsible, but I definitely helped.
Where are you at?
We're on the Electro Chaff clouds.
Oh boy.
This is a big one.
This is munitions. I like munitions, but this one gives me headaches.
Well, so they've changed it a little bit, because we read earlier about devices and objects. A device is not an object unless the card says it's an object. And look at that. An electric chaff cloud is a device and an obstacle.
All at the same time.
At the same time. So this is going to change a lot of things. And people might say, well, what's it going to change? Well, number one, I asked about Epic because when you run over an obstacle in Epic, it gets destroyed when you run over it with a huge ship. But this thing comes with a fuse. When you when you run over a mine with a fuse on it, the fuse is removed. The mine stays until something is executing a maneuver over it again. This is kind of in the between worlds of a device and an obstacle. And so now, when you detonate a seismic bomb next to this thing and it has a fuse marker, the seismic goes off, it does the damage, it removes the fuse, and then it stays. So you could technically hit this thing with 2 seismics in one turn, and then it would be removed. When you run over it with an epic ship, you remove the fuse, the chaff cloud stays until the end of the turn, or to when you check to see if it has any fuse markers, and then it's removed at the end of the turn. Because it's now a device, you cannot launch it and then drop a bomb or mine, or vice versa. So I think that's a good improvement. I think the FO bombers that came out were a little too good with that aspect. They literally could do things in every direction, and that was ridiculous. So they said this is now a device.
Right.
While you execute a maneuver over it, you overlap it, you then gain 1 jam token and breaks all locks. Then that ship skips its perform action step this round. While a ship is not executing a maneuver, if it moves through or overlaps an Electro Chaff cloud, it gains 1 jam token and breaks all locks on it. So, and the other thing is you can never add another fuse to the electric Chaff cloud. It gets 1, that's it.
Yeah. But to get rid of it, still you have to do 2 actions to it. So
yeah,
I mean, is it worth it to take it off the board, or is it just time to move along?
Time to move along. I'll let you read this one. This is below the Electro Chaff clouds.
Yes,
it's almost the last, but there is still more, so don't worry.
Yeah, under miniatures, because this one is vitally important to everyone. This will change the entire scope of the game.
Yeah, it won't, but read it anyway.
Get ready. Miniatures must always be attached to a Star Wars X-Wing base that is appropriate size and shape of the original miniature. If 2 or more miniatures in play could potentially touch, causing conflict, movement, or placement of ships, players must adjust the number of plastic pegs to increase or decrease the height until the ship miniatures are not touching. So people, you cannot take your ships off of the pegs for movements anymore. Those who will do that will be shot. They may be killed. They will be put in front of a firing squad. Then they will take the carcass and hang it with piano wire. Once that is done, then they will put you into a burning pit.
They will hang you from your pinky toes, and they will whip you.
Yep.
Now, for those of you, this has technically always been a thing. It's been around. This is I've seen it enforced when it's like top cut streams, and that's what they want. They don't want you to put your ship off to the side. They want the ships on the cameras at all times. Right. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. If I'm ever at an event and someone tells me I have to put my ship back on and I'm not on stream, I'll take the demerit. I will. Yeah. Every time.
I'll take the warning.
Because no one's going to enforce this except for AMG staff at a major event.
Just remember one rule that they have not touched. AMG, pay attention to what I am about to say. The TO is still in charge of organized play.
Mm-hmm.
And whatever rule that they want to make is legal according to the rules. So if they say, and I don't care if it's right here as written right in front of us, if he says, yeah, just take the base off or just take the ship off, completely legal.
Yes.
Because FFG gave that right and responsibility to the TO. And AMG has not revoked that responsibility of the TO yet.
Oh, hold on. Let me drag this down.
Yet.
So I want to say one of the big other changes that went through, you'll notice there's no blue except for right here. But I'm not talking about that. Under gas clouds, because they took it out. They took out the fact that when you shoot through a gas cloud, the shot is obstructed by a gas cloud. You no longer modify a blank to an evade. That was taken out. So you still get an extra die in your roll. You still suffer when rolling or maneuvering over a gas cloud. You still have to roll an attack, and on a focus or a hit, which I always forget that it's their crits aren't in there. It's only focus or hits.
Focus hit.
Because I definitely went over them and rolled a crit, and I gave myself a strain. You'll get a strain token, but yeah, so you also skip your perform action step. That's still in there. But yeah, gas clouds might not be staples, except for the fact when Chris from Omega Squadron asked, why would I take these? And it's like, because it's even less consequences now.
Yeah.
If you're planning on shooting through these things, they're even better.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's almost like the non-obstacle obstacle.
Yeah, it kind of just gives you a strain and gives you an extra die when shooting through it now. So, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't think I've formed an opinion one way or the other about it. I hated shooting through them.
Maybe they're going to wean people off of the gas cloud, because I've never been a huge fan of them.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. It's not that they're overpowered. It's the fact that they don't do anything is their power. So it's like, I can fly over them, and what do I get? A strain? I don't care.
Sitting on top of it, I can still shoot.
I didn't suffer any damage. And because I did that, I'm no longer getting shot at. So yay me.
Yeah.
And you still can shoot while sitting on top of them. So yeah, I agree with that. It might make them so non-threatening that you might want to actually take debris clouds or asteroids now.
Yeah.
And then build your list around that fact. Or gas clouds might become better because of that fact. We're going to have to wait. I don't know, honestly.
Yeah. It's a change.
It is a change. The other question that somebody asked, it was with the Chaff Cloud missiles. What was it exactly, though? I can quickly check. It was on Facebook. Where is it?
Epic. This is the part where you edit this out?
No, I'm not editing this. This is this is raw. This is real. This is uncut.
This is raw. This is what we do here.
Exactly. New documents.
We actually do more than this, just saying. But, right now, this is important to us.
So, with the Chaff Cloud, each... okay, well, actually, there's one more thing that we need to mention. In this rules reference, there used to be epic rules. It's all been taken out. There is a reference rules PDF, but they haven't put anything in there from here. At least I'll have to double check again. But yeah, so don't come in here looking for epic. Probably they're going to make their, make sure the rules reference for epic on the website is completely up to date.
And I'm not upset with that, Patrick, because AMG is giving Epic some serious love and attention that it has not had before.
It needs its own dedicated PDF, 100%. Because you even said it yourself, this is a 38-page document for rules in X-Wing.
Yeah, 38 pages.
It used to just be move and shoot. Now I got to figure out what a device is and an obstacle at the same time.
I think it was, 15 or so. We just sat down and we put these little plastic ships on the table, and then we played the game.
I remember when my C-Rock didn't have a middle line, and we liked it. But somebody asked about the electric chaff. Like, when an epic ship rolls over a debris or an asteroid or a gas cloud, it literally has rules in there to make it suffer an effect. Like, it suffers a crit, or it I forget exactly what the rules. I have actually the book here. Hold on, I can look it up. Where is it?
And once again, while Patrick pauses in this very important broadcast,
I got it right here.
He's back now.
No, this takes. Trust me, I always have this within arm's reach. For asteroids and debris, the ship suffers 1 crit and gains a stress. For gas clouds, the huge ship gains 1 jam token. And someone goes, what happens when you overlap a chaff cloud? The good thing about the Chaff Cloud is it tells you what happens when you overlap it, no matter who you are. You get jammed, you don't get an action, or what is it? You skip your action phase, basically. And then you lose all target locks, and you can't be target locked. So there's no real reason why they would need to add anything to the rules for a huge ship overlapping this thing, because I think it does enough. It doesn't need any more. Ay, ay, ay. All right. Is there anything else? I don't think we missed anything. I think we've covered it all.
I have a tendency to agree with you, but I'm not the world's smartest man. I'm not seeing anything.
Yeah.
I'm really not.
I think we nailed it.
Cover's still the same.
Yeah, always the same. But
I do like that image, though. I gotta tell you.
Yeah, that's a solid image.
I mean, that's if there was ever a staple image in all of X-Wing miniatures, this picture is the one. I mean, this just pretty much covers it. I love that. I just love that image. I don't know.
It's the Death Star trench run. It's classic.
Yeah, I mean, you can't go wrong. It's right there. You know.
Oh.
And it tells you exactly what it is. It's version 1.3.2. Oh my God.
So the other thing that this does not mention is player order. I know people are so upset about that. They really want to know. Also, they did not mention anything in there about, your list has to be 200 points. It's still the same.
Let's keep in mind here, folks, that there is no organized play yet, and the player order is not all that important. We're still playing under the rules.
Well, so someone did say on Facebook, they're very tired of this. You announced it. Let us know so that we can plan accordingly or start playing to that effect, because I get it. You play online in one spot, they play to 200-point list. You go to another one. It doesn't matter how many points you play to. You got to roll off and see who goes first. Or it's, no, we're still going by the bid rule. And you're like, I don't know what to do. I mean, I don't want to be condescending or, kind of an ASS, but honestly, it's your choice. You can play with whomever and however you want. So if you go to a tournament and they're not playing by what you prefer, then don't. I understand that you want to play a specific way because you want to start planning. And if all of a sudden a tournament is already in that, play style, you would want to jump in and start practicing. But none of these, I repeat, 0.0% of these are official games by AMG. So there is no incentive for them to change it yet.
Right. And do not forget, people, do not forget that if you don't like how a tournament is run, you are more than free to organize a tournament on your own and do it the rules that you want.
Yep.
Just because one TO does it one way does not mean you as a TO have to follow it that way. This is a game. The rules are rules, yes, but there is flexibility there because, once again, you're the TO. So if you don't like it, do something different.
Yep.
God knows we could use more events and more people stepping up to that TO position. I mean, how can that be bad for the game?
Well,
if you're playing it,
I'm gonna say I'm a whole, when people ask me on certain subjects, I'm like, I'm a bad person to ask, and they're like, why? It's like, because I haven't had any experiences with that question, or I prefer what we're currently doing. Play whatever you want, jump into anything you want. Just because you've played a game to where you have to build to 200 points and then you roll off, doesn't mean that if all of a sudden AMG doesn't do it that way, you've lost out on anything. You're still playing the game you like. You just had to adjust your list. If you're planning for tournaments, I understand that, but you kind of already have the information you need, other than, is it player order is decided at the beginning of the game, or you change player order every turn. I mean, honestly, we can't help you there. You're just gonna have to wait.
Nope.
And because of COVID, AMG really doesn't have the need to move forward.
Not yet.
Not yet. And I know you're gonna say, well, then I'm quitting X-Wing. I'll never play again. It's like, I'm sure they'll hate to see you leave. But again,
then there's less competition for the rest of us.
then there's less competition.
Yeah, honestly, I mean, it's a game. Either you want to play it or you don't want to play it. Either you're going to play it by whatever rules that are going to be there, or you're not going to play it by whatever rules.
Yeah.
These are, rules are guidelines. Take it with a grain of salt. Everybody has house rules, for God's sakes.
Yeah.
Whoever played Monopoly and didn't hit free parking and take all the money in the middle, I mean, everybody does that.
My dad used to take out loans from the bank, and we'd crush him. He'd be like 10 grand in debt, and we're like, we're not playing anymore because you can't win. You're just in debt and you'll never get out. There's no consequences. You're just taking debt, other than the game is prolonged. So we would quit.
But
that's the thing. Try everything. See which one you prefer, and then start mentioning it on forums and see if you can get AMG to sway your way, because it doesn't. I don't know if they're decided yet on how they're going to do it. They might be waiting for people to start voting on it.
And AMG is listening.
Yeah, oh, yeah. Oh, geez. That was creepy, but true. They definitely mentioned they listen to podcasts. They watch shows. I see you, AMG.
Hey, how are you guys? No,
as far as to say, they basically have fake accounts and jump into things.
I mean, and if you're a game company that is taking over a game and you want to have a sense of the game, you're going to read this stuff. You want that information. If you're trying to make the game better for everybody, you got to listen and see sometimes there's brilliant ideas out there and they make it into the game.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to say anything, we're doing or redoing our missions for first edition and the second edition, and then 2 months later AMG then says we're starting scenarios, and it's not like, oh, that was me. It's like, no, it's things like that, to where HOTAC, Flight Group Alpha, other people pumping out missions like we are, all of you are contributing, and AMG's seeing it, and then they're like, oh, wow,
these guys really want this.
There's a lot of people that actually do this. Look at how many comments there are. Look at how many questions there are. So it's not one sole person that's doing this. It's AMG noticing that there's a lot of people doing this, and that's their core audience, and that's who they're trying to get after. And unfortunately, those people don't usually give an F. They're okay with playing it however they want. All right.
So I think we're done beating this horse.
Yeah, that horse is definitely dead. Actually, we should say Bantha. That Bantha is definitely dead.
Yeah, well, sometimes you just got to deliver a Bantha to Tatooine.
I want to do my sand person call, but I won't.
Thank you for not doing it.
I'll do it on the podcast. But thank you guys for watching. Go to the links below. You can go through all our stuff, our Discord, our swag, our Patreon, our recon tokens, our Facebook pages and YouTube channels and all that stuff. Thank you guys so much for liking and subscribing. We love putting out these videos for you guys and love your feedback. We're gonna try the Aces thing. The Aces high. That's kind of sad. I mean, should we mention that?
We can.
Okay. All right. So we, someone did post the Aces High pack. I should really mention their name, thank them, because they posted.
Don't get them in trouble.
No, they posted to Fly Better. There's like 5,000 people in there. I'm sure someone's definitely going to notice.
The police will catch the man.
Robbie Gage. And you know what? Robbie Gage might even be a fake AMG staff member. So, I mean, Robbie Gage, I want a photo of you holding your ID and your social security card. Please don't do that.
And your home address.
Show us that you're a real person.
Please post your phone number.
Yeah, he leaked AMG's OP kit for high aces. Okay, Robert did some digging, and he also reached out to a few people that we have contacts with. That wasn't supposed to get sent out. of course,
At all yet?
at all. Distributors are really, they're top notch. You're not going to really be able to order it yet, because the people who did in fact get to order it, like, that window closed. So even if you call your distributor and ask for it, they'll either say, we have no idea what you're talking about, or say, you can't order that yet.
Yeah. And do keep in mind that this is an organized play kit.
Yes.
What is the one thing AMG is not doing right now?
Organized play.
Okay.
Yeah. So they're holding off on it. We already uploaded all the contents to the Facebook page and our Discord. And also, oh no, I didn't do all the things to Instagram. I have to upload the ships and the quick build cards. Ooh, speaking of quick builds, I could also shout out them real quick.
Give a teaser, because we'll do a thing on this.
Yeah, well, we're gonna have it on the podcast. So, I mean, there are new quick builds that are in the OP kit, but there are already quick build cards out there. AMG says it's going to be releasing more. I mean, I'm
Give
so
a quick
excited
teaser.
for these.
Just throw a quick teaser.
A quick teaser. So Jim Bob, if you know him.
Hold it up.
Yeah, hold it up. Oh, hold on. I think I raced you. There we go. All right, so Jim Bob of Infinite Arenas has built quick builds. And let me actually zoom in here. Where's my guest close up here?
I don't know.
There it is. I know where it is.
Well,
so
at least somebody
he
does.
sent me some quick packs here, and basically you can get some nice obstacle reference cards, but most of all, you get these sweet quick build cards, and it comes with all the quick builds that are out. I mean, they're different colors. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, they're really good. And I knew this, but I forgot about it. This is all nonprofit. He's not making money off of this. You didn't even know that.
No, I didn't. I'm totally flabbergasted.
So, I mean, you can order these. He'll send them to you. He has all the quick builds for all the factions. He was going to start developing his own and putting them out, but AMG did announce that they were going to do that. So, I mean, I would love it if he started pumping some out. I know they wouldn't be official, but heck yeah, I would love to start doing like booster packs at a store, so that you open a pack of these random cards, everyone gets to draw, and then you can play Aces High, or you can build a list like that. So that's what I've always wanted to do. Now that I have these, I can. So thank you so much for sending us these to play test. I cannot wait to give these a test and try these out in the store.
Yeah. So coming soon to a video near you.
Yeah, coming soon. And we'll also mention them on the podcast, because quick builds are a thing that was,
And, since we're talking about cards, everybody out here, take a look at Recon Tokens Alt Art cards, and you will find on that site our Blueprint series of cards. We have 2 of them, and they are sweet. Somebody even put the Electro Chaff missile on the face of it, and then on the other side, are you ready for this? All of the information on how to use the card and the effects of it.
Yep. Yeah. Because that was, I think, a request by someone. They were like, hey, can you have like cards with the stuff in the back? I was like, oh yeah, absolutely.
So whenever possible, we're going to start incorporating that into the Blueprint series, because I don't know why we didn't think of it sooner.
Well, we just haven't gotten to it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So.
All right, we've been talking for 15 minutes. We hope this video finds you and finds you well.
I got one other thing.
Oh, geez. All right, yeah, just keep it going. We're good.
No, just one other thing. Growler Squadron in Oregon.
Oh, yeah.
Your custom tokens are on the way for your League Nights. I just wanted to give a shout out to these guys. They wanted some custom stuff done, and I love their logo, and they're just friends of the show, and we just wanted to give them a shout out. So there you go, guys.
Awesome. All right, we're going to try to play the Aces High this weekend, because why the heck not? I want to try these new quick builds, and we have screenshots of them. You can go over to our website and check them out. always feel free to contact us. Email us at reconspecialisttv@gmail.com or recon.tokens@gmail.com. Yeah, this is Patrick reminding you, play casual. Play casual.
Play casual, because that's important.
It's true.
It is. So, see ya.
Later.